What's going on YouTube? It's Captain Labs here, and I said I was going to be starting to write some more scripts, so I actually have a written script here. I'm trying to read it as I go along, but at the same time, I'm adding a bit of my own flavor to it, just kind of expanding and elaborating on some of my points here. So we're gonna kind of see how this goes. So the day's topic is metagaming, and I just want to start it by saying that there's absolutely nothing wrong with meta builds. I understand how important it is if you have very little time and you want to use a guide to get you into a flow game. So don't let me tell you how to play a game. This is just my opinion and kind of how I feel about metagaming and where I think it came from and why it is affecting the way that we play games now. So, honestly, in my opinion, it's one of the best and worst things about streamers and YouTubers. Only having like an hour a day or a week or a month to play, like meta builds are honestly the best way to go. It maximizes your efficiency in the game and you can get where you want to be in it in the quickest amount of time by copying down somebody else's build. However, we are talking about playing video games here, so why are we maximizing our efficiency like it's a chore list to knock out on a Saturday when we want to take a 10-minute nap before we gotta go do something else? When did gaming specifically start feeling like a chore? So in this video I want to talk about meta builds, why they're good and bad, why they have how they've affected gaming culture, how games are made now, and my overall thoughts about it, plus what I've been doing to help fight or counter meta builds in games. I mean, this is my video, of course, so it's all my thoughts. I'm not making reaction content, so I'm not stealing anybody else's ideas. I'm just coming up with it as I come along. So sit back, relax, and I'm going to talk a little bit. So, what is metagaming? According to AI Overview, which I cannot believe popped up when I Googled, but according to AI Google Overview, metagaming refers to using knowledge or information outside of the game itself to gain advantage in gameplay. That idea has certainly evolved over the tenure of video games. Back in the day, like I'm 100 or something, back in the day before the internet when gaming was just couch co-op and single player, finding bugs, exploits, broken gear, weapons, and etc. was all determined by the amount of time and what you did within the game. Also a fair amount of social gatherings. Watching others play at arcades and your friends coming over to play on the couch with you, you would adapt to their playstyle. You'd learn new things and get a fresh perspective that you thought you knew so much about a game that someone else taught you something new and you get to experience it in live time. With the age of the internet, though, gaming evolved into more of a social network of sorts for people to share their love of interest in the same hobby. Honestly, most of us probably got bullied growing up because of our love for gaming. I know it's hard to believe, but 20 or 30 years ago ugh, was something that you got made fun of for, and I've got the black eyes and memories to prove it. However, this ability to share with people across the world led a few gaming forums and eventually entire websites dedicated to sharing this information amongst one another, which was a huge thing. So if you were in your in like the 90s, 80s and 90s, like the late 80s and 90s, like if you were a huge gamer, a huge nerd like that, you got picked on. You got bullied. You got picked on. Kids used to make fun of me. Kids used to, oh, you like Mario Party? What a loser! You got a Nintendo? What a loser! So it was never really as hyped up as it is now. Like, not every kid had an Xbox, or not every kid had a PlayStation. Not every kid, had a Nintendo 64. It was definitely something that was very niche. So, it's it's actually really I'm very happy of where gaming has transitioned to. So don't let any of my negativity about it, get you down. I love the state the video games and stuff is in right now. So, to my next point. So I still remember to this day downloading and printing like 30 pages of cheats for games like Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and my parents yelling at me because I drained all the printer of ink because I'm trying to fire endless rockets into police cars and helicopters. So I mean, it became something that revolutionized the way people played video games. It was more than just cheat pages, though. It was cumulative knowledge of everyone that played the same game with the same features and difficulty. All of the cool things that we had found, and what would help others to be better at games. And this wasn't just like cheat codes and stuff. This wasn't, oh, you input this code at this screen and you'll get XYZ. This was guides, like before like YouTube walkthroughs and YouTube guides and everything were really a thing. Like, this was people telling you, if you go here in this game and you do XYZ until the boss, you will have everything you need to completely obliterate that boss. These were forums that taught you how to do one-shot builds. These were forums that taught you how to beat hard bosses, what items to use. It was phenomenal. Game FAQs was the one that I used all the time, and it helped me beat so many games. There was a lot of games that I beat on my own, and I beat them on easy, or I beat them on medium. But once you bumped up that difficulty, you really need to start exploring the entire aspect of the game. And that was something that this website or these websites or the social websites that were all now coming to this dial-up internet that we all had, that made a lot of hard, challenging games very easy, and it made this experience become something that I no longer felt alone while I was playing these games. So, because honestly, in my humble opinion, this was some of the best years that gaming has ever been a part of. Was this complete expansion. I believe this is what jumped off the revolution that we have even to this day about video gaming. Because that all came to a collection point with a little website that we've all heard of called YouTube. People could finally capture gameplay and upload it for the world to see. Everyone was now able to second by second, mostly because we were on dial-up internet and it buffered all the time, constantly, to mimic the bugs and exploits that people had found. The experience for themselves they get to experience for themselves any bugs or exploits that they might not have found, because it would take hundreds and hundreds of hours in these games to find this stuff, of running into random walls until you hit like a bad pixel frame that kicked you into a completely different section of the map. Over the years, though, that has grown into what we have today. Hundreds, if not thousands, of gamers recording and sharing almost completely identical algorithmic based content to maximize views and viewer retention. So now we have hundreds of players running around very similar setups that practically punish any form of variety. So why do we do it? What makes our favorite YouTubers copy-paste videos better than the next? Why are there so many people doing the same thing? And I'm going to tell you, it's personality. That's what makes them all different, is personality. Their own personal take on the exact same meta content. First-person shooters, it's the flair in which they execute clutch plays. RPGs could be playstyles and builds that are similar to your own. Exploration might be commentary. I'll be honest with you, I really don't know. I'm just stabbing in the dark on that one. But I'm not going to sit here and ramble off all the things people enjoy from other people, because we'd be here for an eternity. Because there's that one person out there that likes a content creator because of a color choice or something. And that's me. I'm that guy. Shout out to my boy Rax. If you're listening to this, the blue hoodie thing you've got going on, freaking solid, man. Keep it up. You're also super dope at your video games, which helps, but I do enjoy the content as a fan, and the hoodie is what locked me into it. I mean, you can check my gamer tag icon. It's pretty similar. It's not the same, but it's pretty similar. So this is the best part of meta builds, though. You can just copy paste and you can play a game, and you don't have to put much thought into it. You don't have to put much exploration to it. You don't really have to. I mean, you don't have to do all of the extra stuff that comes with playing video games. You can just take your favorite YouTubers' builds and you can make them yourself, and you can experience what they experience. So in a way, you can do it as a community, because that is the best part of meta builds. The community in which we belong to, because of our love for a content creator. Some of the best friends that we've ever made over the years have been through gaming and through the people that we enjoy watching, the entertainment value that we get from these people who play the game for us for 1 to 8 hours a day at a time. That's how we build our friendships. And for the gamers out there who know what I'm talking about, some of us have made our best friends online, and people that we would share things with that we don't share with normal people in our daily lives. So, but if you're like me and you're stuck at a boring ass job all day, you probably watch a ton of YouTubers and streamers. Study the games you're enjoying. Learn the tips to effectively have a great time playing and not grinding out useless variables to beat the game. You're just trying to get to the fun part. And that is something that really hits home, because I watch a lot of people play, and while I'm watching them play, I'm constantly in the background going, how can I do this? What can I do this? What can I do this? When I get home, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this to set everything up perfectly. So when I get on, I just can have fun. I don't have to worry about everything. And that's kind of where this is going, because when did trying to get to the fun part stop being the fun part? When did we stop enjoying the journey of games and only worrying about being better at games and getting to the end? We all have our own experiences with this, though. Whether it's running around with the same loadouts in COD, the same builds in RPGs, where's the variety? Where's the creativity? Where's the authenticity of your own individual expression through your digital avatar? There's so much discussion about how games aren't fun anymore. They're pay to win, developers don't care, Cheetos are everywhere, every game is the same, so on and so on. So I think, and seriously, hear me out on this, but it's kind of our fault. Why put any creativity in a game if the majority is just going to play the game the exact same way? Why bother balancing when you can win for $9.99? Why hide anything from someone? Why hide anything when someone's going to find it in a day after streaming for 48 hours without sitting down for some odd ass reason? Who cares if it's good? Your favorite streamer is going to hate play it for 8 hours a day due to financial obligations or some shit, which will make you want to go home, play the game, and bitch just like they do, because too much. Because why the fuck not? So, but that is getting into a subject on why I can't stand contract obligations with streamers, but that is a completely different realm. We might talk about that in another one, but continuing here, there is so many reasons. We've given people and developers excuses not to make interesting or original content, and we're partially to blame. Maybe because I'm getting old, but fuck all of that. This is my time. Why am I let someone else dictate how I should play the game? To stay competitive, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're probably not going pro. I hate to break it to you, but the odds are just as slim almost as becoming an actual professional athlete. It takes a lot of practice, dedication, skill. You have to be the one that is breaking the mold of that game to break it into that top tier 0.1% professional gamer. Do you want to be a content streamer? I'm going to tell you right now, this is hard. I'm learning each time that I write something down or I sit in front of this monitor. You work hard at this. You will work harder here than you do at your real job because you actually give a shit about what you put out. You don't get me wrong. This isn't pouring concrete. This isn't slaving away in the military. I'm not building the house. I've done all of that. But this right here will drain you way more than that. I can't tell you almost how difficult it is to put something out that I've worked on for hours for it to get 2, 3 views, and at least one of them, maybe 2 of them mine. When you pour your heart and soul into something like this, and you enjoy it, you love it, and you don't get the instant gratification that you're thinking you're gonna get, it's taxing. It'll make your mental health take a hit. I've made videos about this. I've broken down mid videos shooting and been like, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I'm not putting in the effort for it today because this is hard. This is something that I want to do and I'm passionate about, so it's not gonna be easy. This is something that's just gonna take time and I have to accept that. Am I trying to win? Why? Was winning's not worth me sacrificing my creativity for? If I'm not getting to play with the weapons that I want in Call of Duty, I don't want to play the game. If I'm not getting to pick the character that I want in Marvel Rivals, I don't want to play the game. If I'm not doing all the cool stuff in Diablo that I want to be doing, I'm not getting to play the game the way I want to. If I'm doing that in Elden Ring, then I'm not playing Elden Ring the way I want to. And I don't understand why winning has become so much more important than having fun. Because after sacrificing my creativity, when I lose, I don't blame myself for a lack of skill or knowledge. I don't blame myself for anything. I blame it on the game. I say it's the game's fault. It's got to be the game's fault because I have the best builds in the game. Why am I losing? But here's my thoughts. So please, and I mean please, get rid of if the I can't beat it, then I might as well join them mentality. Stop forcing yourself into boxes when you're a circle. By all means, learn as much as you possibly can about the game you love. Learn what's broken about the game and how to use it if you want. But challenge yourself to find your meta. What is your style? Can you challenge yourself to beat the competition of the meta? And trust me, I understand that styles are the meta because they are broken and get abused. There's really no way to beat the meta. So let it be and move on about your day. Don't let it compromise your integrity. Be proud of your own accomplishments because what makes you special is that you're the only one with your own perspective. So I actually did write all of those O's and that's so um what have I been doing, you ask? Nobody asked. Let's make that sure. If you made it this far in the video, I'm super impressed. I'm just kidding though. I love you if you did. I really appreciate it. I'm still enjoying my favorite content creators. Honestly, it's phenomenal. I love watching YouTube. YouTube is one of my favorite things to do. I love seeing what other people come up with when it comes to the builds. Um, so I'm not gonna stop doing that. I'm not gonna stop doing that. I enjoy watching meta builds. I enjoy watching the new stuff. So that's not gonna change. So that's, like I said, good or bad there. Um, I love the unique perspective that they've added to all the games I enjoy, which is kind of what I just said. So seeing someone else enjoy what I enjoy makes me happy. It's like eating ice cream. If I've got ice cream, I'm getting you some ice cream, and that's just how it's going to be. Because if someone else is having fun, I love and I appreciate watching other people have fun too, because I know how hard it is to just have fun sometimes. So, but instead of copy and paste builds that I've been doing or sharing, I've been spending a lot more time reading and exploring all the options given to me. So trying to find my own spin on a game that I'm playing has been very, very important to me. But that, however, is why my Elden Ring character is ass and why my Diablo character can't pancake a boss like a Sunday breakfast. Because if you watch some of my videos, I'll be standing there fighting a boss for like 15 minutes, and then some character will come over and just boom, one shot him. That's a meta build. I'm gonna tell you right now, that is a meta build. The builds I come up with, they're challenging, they're fun. I have to learn boss mechanics. I have to move. I have to do X, Y, Z. I have to do stuff because that's how I enjoy the game. If you enjoy the game one-shotting shit, by all means, one-shot the fuck out of everything. But if you enjoy the challenge, make your own build-up and see how far you can push it. But it's also why I've started hating first-person shooter games and I'm leaning harder into RPGs, because every first-person shooter game I play, it's the same thing. I get killed by the same gun. I get killed by the same type of player. I get everything. Everything is the exact same, and it's become mind-numbingly boring. That there's no creativity in FPS games anymore. And that's why I've been leaning into RPGs, because I have way more freedom to play exactly how I want to play. I love playing with lightning. I don't care what game it is. If I can't build a lightning game and a lightning build in an RPG, I'm not playing it. Just straight up. If I can't put lightning in my build in some way, shape, or form, I'm not playing it. That, and I'm also a parent, so the ability to pause a game is a godsend that I've completely forgot I needed. So I've been challenging myself to learn more about what I'm doing, though. If I find an obstacle, I try and figure it out myself. I don't run to YouTube as often anymore. I don't like the COD meta. If I don't like the COD meta, you'll find me cheesing your asses camper style, like I'm Bear Giles drinking my own piss in a corner. Yeah, I'm that bitch now, because you know what? If you want to run around broken shit that you had a couple hours to grind, I'm gonna sit in a corner with a shotgun and just completely obliterate you. Don't bring your meta to me. I'm gonna bust it. So when I hit damage walls, though, when I explore, I have to learn mechanics. I have to improve my skills. I have to get better at the game. By playing the way that I want to, I have to be better at the game. It's just a simple fact. If things don't die as fast, that means I have to not die as fast too. So I have to stay alive. So I have to learn boss mechanics. I have to learn how moves work. I have to learn how that function works. I have to learn like what they're weak against, because if I use what they're weak against with whatever I'm using build combined with it, then I can kind of control the tempo of the fight. But when I hit damage walls, when I hit stuff like that, I explore. Like, if I hit something and I can't beat it, I go do something else. I try and find something that I can tweak, or I can put more power into, or I can use as an item, like finding out what the weakness is, or yada yada yada. And I tweak my approach. If that doesn't work, and I've flipped over every rock, and I've looked in every nook and cranny, and I've spent countless of hours trying to figure it out, I'll go and build a 5-minute meta build on YouTube. I'll completely nuke the obstacle that's in my way, and you better believe it's only because I pushed my own sanity before I relinquished to that, because it's never as truly satisfying as overcoming a problem by hard work and determination. And like I said, that is just my opinion, and I am some random guy on the internet, though, so you do what you want, because I have been Captain Slaps, Captain Laps. I'm gonna stop saying slaps eventually, but I have been Captain Laps. This has been my video on metagaming builds. Peace.